Yes, people, welcome back to the ShoeString Budget Podcast. Here we are again with some transfer news. Last time I think we did a podcast, Tommy Boy, it was when Casemiro signed from Real Madrid to Manchester United. That was about a week ago, is that right?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Crazy, and a lot has happened. We've obviously went on to beat the mighty Liverpool, the Europeans' best, or the best team in Europe. Went on to beat them comfortably. I think we were quite shocked that we didn't do a podcast after that, to be fair, because I think we were a bit shocked at that performance. But
yeah, we were all celebrating.
Yeah, we were too busy celebrating to do a podcast, that's the truth. And obviously we spoke to our Scouse boy Paul. He was up for coming on the podcast before that game, and then all of a sudden he had things to do. So yeah, we'll definitely have to drag him on. We won't let him live that one down anytime soon. But obviously today is a great day for United. We have signed Antony from Ajax in what seems like the longest transfer saga ever. We've finally got that deal over the line. It's been reported it's in the region of 100 million euros, which you kind of expected it to be the case.
Yeah, it's about £85 million, isn't it? Something like that.
Exactly that. So it works out at around 85 million. Now, the structure of the deal is something that's bothered me. So when I heard it was 100 million, I thought, oh, maybe we'll do 80 million euros up front and then 20 million in add-ons. That's kind of how I thought it was going to go, somewhat naively, but it's been reported today that the deal is structured like this. So it's 95 million euros up front. That is the upfront cost, with 5 million in add-ons. Wow.
It's a lot of money.
That's a heck of a lot of money. So that puts Antony up there as our third most expensive signing, behind Romelu Lukaku and, of course, Paul Labile Pogba. So, I mean, he's up there with the big boys. What do you think of this transfer? What are your thoughts?
I'm excited because I know we need somebody like that on the wing, but I know he's been doing it at Ajax, but it's a completely different league, completely different level. I just hope that he can carry on doing what he's been doing and not do not come to the club and then struggle for the first year and so on. I hope he kind of just gets straight into it, because that's the kind of position we need to solidify, because we're always mixing it up there with Alanga, Rashford, Sancho.
Absolutely. I think he's going to come in and do a job as well, because he will be our inverted winger, so he likes to play on the right. He is a left footer, so that's where we get that inversion there. That's exactly what we need. I think we've got too many right-footed players, and so having this person that can come in and attack from the right using his left foot will be a big advantage to us.
Who do you now start? Say he starts Antony on the right wing. Who out of Alanga, Sancho and Rashford would you start on the left?
On the left, for me, Sancho. Sancho on the left. We'll come to the middle, the striker position, because that's a bit of an open debate at the minute. And then Antony on the right. Antony has to start now. You don't pay 80-odd million to sit him on the bench. He has got to hit the ground running. It's a big price tag, and I do feel for him. I heard Scholes on the game at Southampton, and he said, I feel sorry for the lad. And I'm totally in the same boat.
He wanted to leave, didn't he? He did not want to stay at Ajax, and he wanted to go to Man United.
Exactly, and the fee is not his fault. We've got to remember that as fans. In a similar way to Harry Maguire, the fee is not his fault. Doesn't mean that we let him off with bad performances in the same way that we haven't let Harry Maguire off with bad performances, but we do have to appreciate that this is a guy that has only played really in the Eredivisie. His stats aren't great, to be honest. For a winger, they're all right, but I don't know. I think there'd be a lot of bantering if he'd gone anywhere else for this fee, so we've got to expect
definitely. That. Did you see Sky Sports put out, not long ago actually, about an hour ago, that United are also inquiring about Dest from Barcelona?
Oh yes, I've got that on my list, so we will come to that. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. That is something.
I forget you've got this list.
Yes, I always make a list. So I just think we're looking at his stats now. I'm looking at his stats from 2021 to 22, so last season. In 23 games, he got 8 goals and 4 assists. to what, 12 goal involvements in 23, which isn't the worst.
No.
And considering he is a winger, but I mean, again, I think Ajax have got a good bit of business out of us. However, I also want to say that this is entirely Manchester United's fault. There is no way we should be paying this fee, and it is completely down to the board, down to John Murto, down to Richard Arnold as well, who obviously is the CEO. That is absolutely outrageous that we are paying this fee for Antony. He should have been a 50-60 million euro strike player. I mean, I think we bid 50 million euros sort of at the start of the transfer window, but we signed Martinez for a similar fee. I think it was like 60 million for Martinez. If you're paying 60 million for Martinez, you need to be pushing at 70, if not 80 million euros for Antony, and we just left it. And then all of a sudden, last week, I believe it was, Antony sort of went on strike, and then the deal was back on, but for a much bigger fee. And
they've kind of, that's the thing though. After like the protests with the Liverpool game and their Glazers out trending everywhere, it's been weird because obviously they signed Casemiro out of nowhere, and then they also, they started off at 50 million for Antony, and it's managed to get all the way up to 100 million. So it seems like they're doing it just to win over the fans again.
I think that's what it is, and I've seen a lot of people speak about this as well, only really on social media, to be honest, but I do believe that the community need to stick together on this. We need to keep that pressure on, because you can't just say, oh, we'll sign Casemiro and Antony and the fans will be happy. Absolutely not. Antony is a good signing, and Casemiro is a fantastic signing. He's exactly what we needed, but like you say, it came out of absolutely nowhere, and it smells of desperation. 60-odd million for a 30-year-old midfielder. Okay, he's won everything that there is to win in the game. He's fantastic. He's one of the best in his positions. But again, it came out of nowhere. It was definitely a desperate act from the Glazers.
It happened all in like a day or two, didn't it? And it came out of nowhere, and the next minute we'd signed him.
Yeah, it was like on the Wednesday, it was announced that we were looking at him, and then by the Friday he'd already been in Manchester for his medical, and it was like, oh, where the heck's this come from? And then he was unveiled as a United player at that game against Liverpool that we won on the Monday night. So it's just an interesting one. I've got so many transfers to talk to you about as well, and potential transfers. Obviously now that takes our spending up to way over the 200 million pound mark. So we have spent money, and you can't fault the Glazers for okaying those deals. However, it's not their money, it's the fans' money, and they've done nothing. They have literally not put anything into the club. And yeah, we should keep the pressure on. Even going on their social media, every post that Man United put up, hashtag Glazers out. Keep that pressure up, because sponsors check that. Potential people that want to buy into the club and give money to the club, they will read that, and they will see that the fans have just absolutely had enough. It started all them years ago. Yeah, we can't let it die down. Absolutely not. We've got to keep that pressure up. So
like after the Liverpool game, it definitely did die down quite a bit.
Oh, absolutely. I do think a reason that we had the protests on that particular match was because we had that expectation that we were going to get absolutely hammered. I'm shocked that we didn't, but based off the Brighton and the Brentford, certainly the Brentford game, I expected us to get absolutely trounced against Liverpool. Yeah. And when that didn't happen,
such a surprise.
Yeah, and I think I totally agree. You saw a massive decline in the Glazer out movement. Keep that pressure on. I know we don't get many listeners to this, but we will put this out on socials. Make sure you are hashtagging the hell out of all of their socials, all their Twitter posts, and that's the only voice that we really have as fans is on social media. It sounds like a minor thing, but this is our TripAdvisor. That is our way of saying how badly we think this club is run. And we obviously want someone like Jim, Jim to come in and fix it, as it were. And we also want there's Michael Knighton the potential consortium that he is putting together. Obviously, when I say about Jim, I mean Jim Radcliffe, who said he wants to fix the club, not the other Jim. We don't want him to fix it.
It just said Jim will fix it. It was just funny.
As soon as I said it, I was like, oh gosh, yeah, I forgot about what. Yeah, he was. Yes, people, thank you so much for listening to the ShoeString Budget Podcast. Make sure that you follow us on all our socials, on our Twitter page. Just put in hashtag the ShoeString Budget Podcast and you'll see us on there. Remember, hashtag Glazers out. Thank you.